I go out, warm up, I come back in, right? There was a snake in our locker room. A snake.
Okay. How'd they get rid of the snake?
Nobody got it.
Wait a minute.
Nobody got
Wait
it.
a
It just
minute.
it
There is a
slithered right
snake.
back under it. What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Not Just Football with me, Cam Heyward, and my co-host, Hayden Walsh. We are here. We have to talk about a great game we had against the Washington Commanders, and we also have to talk about the AFC North and what we got going on there. But today we are joined by Super Bowl winner. I don't like to talk about his college days because
come on, man. You know what it is. You know what it is.
But great teammate, number 56, LaMarr Woodley. Bro, appreciate you coming on today.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me on. I always see our show when I'm strolling through on IG, and it's always some funny, good comments that y'all are making. So I appreciate the humor that y'all are always posting every week.
Man, appreciate you. You know, Hayden's a big Michigan guy, so, I guess I'm outnumbered this week.
Man.
It's good to have you on. It's finally nice to have somebody on my side on the pod for once. It's nice to have you on, Lamar.
Ain't nobody wants to see all that.
But we all Pittsburgh. We all Steelers. So
absolutely,
we all
100%.
So we good to go.
Yes, sir. So let's talk about this week. What'd you think about the game?
This week, you know what, man? I only got the opportunity to see some of the highlights.
Yeah.
But I heard that you made some comments. Did you make some comments or something about the offense or somebody offense being like a high school offense?
He did. He said they were college offense.
I said you got to respect every offense. And there was somebody a couple weeks ago who said that's a college offense, and they didn't respect them. I said you don't do that out here. When you're playing against an NFL offense, doesn't matter who's out there, you got to respect who's on the field. Because I don't like giving bulletin material, right?
Well, I guess that's what you gave. But I'm going to go back to the game. No, but I think that the game was great. I'm glad we came back and we finished strong. And that's why you always play to the fourth quarter. You play to the fourth quarter until that clock says 0-0-0. And we was able to come out on top. No matter how it looked, we came out with the victory.
I agree. Looking at that game, starting off 7-7, there was adversity there. We didn't get the fake punt, but we were able to just keep battling back. They go up 10 points, and there's just a lot of moving parts to have a comeback like that. Defense has got to do well. Special teams has got to be on point, and then offense, man, delivering big late. Mike Williams getting the touchdown from Russell Wilson. Man, it's just it's really fun to see this team to continue to keep gelling, keep growing, and keep getting after it.
You know how it is, Cam. Sometimes the offense got to carry the defense, and sometimes the defense got to carry the offense. In this case on Sunday, the offense carried us this time. And sometimes we switch it up and we carry them. So that's what the team all about. And we're going to go through and we're going to look at the tape and make those corrections and come back strong next week. That's all.
I feel it.
Well, I'm curious, Cam, too. What did you think about the defensive effort? Obviously, Jaden didn't have his best performance on Sunday. Stopped the run on Sunday, held him under 100 yards, which I know you like to do, but you gave up 27 points. So how did you feel about the overall effort? And we'll give him credit. He had 2 sacks on Sunday. Nice job, Cam.
And first of all, stopping the run was huge. I wish we had come out of the red zone. A couple times we just weren't in our right gaps. As Wood can attest, good red zone defense is everybody being in their gaps, getting off blocks. But, we got to learn from this. You don't want to be in these type of games where you're giving up 7 points. It's got to be field goals or less, especially if you're trying to go far in the playoffs. And then when you talk about, the sacks, if I get one-on-ones, I got to take advantage of those. Looking at guys like Wood and James all those years, you couldn't block them alone. You had to make sure you had, multiple guys on them. They're doing that on TJ right now. But if I get singled alone, I got to take advantage of that.
One thing I want to ask you both. Lamar, did you see the spot late in the game?
No, I missed that.
Okay. Well, Cam, be honest. Did you think he got it, or was he short? Was he short, or did he get it? Honestly.
Oh,
he didn't get it. What are you talking about?
It looked close. It looked like they should have moved the ball up a little bit. They should have moved it up a little bit.
We ain't moving the ball up.
It was close.
That was rightfully called. I'm not going to argue with the refs. you play the game, and you play what the ref calls.
One also thing I want to ask you both about this. You guys both played on the defensive line. To clinch the game, Russell Wilson went hard count and was able to draw on offsides on 4th and 1. How difficult is that to not – I know the adrenaline's going. How difficult is that to just not watch the ball? That is just so frustrating, right?
Very frustrating. They're gonna hear about it on film on Monday and all on social media from that dumb mistake they've made by jumping off sides and clinching the game for us. So, but we appreciate it though. We appreciate
We do. We appreciate it. In the back of my head, I think about Coach Mitch, saying slap better stay on sides. He was always hammering that home. Every day we start practice with, ball key get off. So you got to be willing to, take what you do in practice and take it to the game. So, man, we were very lucky in that opportunity, and we will not apologize for it.
You got to feel for that rookie, though, man, right? I mean, you guys were not snapping that ball. There's no way that ball was getting snapped. No shot.
I wanted us to snap it because I thought we were going to pick it up as an offense, but I didn't think we were snapping it.
And that's why you got the hard count, and that's why as a defensive line, you're supposed to go over it every week like we used to.
Yep.
Man, terrible way to lose that game, though. Oh, terrible. Terrible. You want to go to the AFC North in next week now?
Let's do it.
All right. We got a big game this week, Lamar. You've obviously been in this rivalry as much as Cam has. Playing the Ravens this week, AFC North battle. What do you see? What do they need to do to beat Lamar and Derrick Henry this weekend?
You know where the game gonna start at with the Baltimore Ravens. It's gonna start with Lamar Jackson, and as a defense, we got to do a good job of containing them, not over rushing them, getting to him. And when we get to him, we got to take him down to the ground because he can't get away. But then you got to respect him throwing. So hopefully we get a lot of 4-man pressure. Cam and them boys up front take care of what they got to take care of and take some heat off the guys in the secondary. And I think it just starts up front. We get it done up front as a group. We can get it done.
I agree with that. I think when you look at this AFC North gauntlet we're about to go on, what better way to start off than with the Baltimore Ravens? It's Lamar and company. But you can't forget about a guy like Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is that monster in the backfield that every team would like to have. And so we're looking forward to this matchup. As Lamar alluded to, you got to be willing to, rush 4, keep Lamar in the pocket, because if you, rush 5 or 6, he's going to dice you up, and then there's nothing behind it. And we have to make sure we stack the box a little bit with Derrick Henry, because, man, he runs through ankle tackles. And now they have explosive wide receivers. They've got, playmakers at every level. You got Mark Andrews out there. This type of game, you got to have the better defense because both offenses are capable of scoring a lot of points.
How physical is an AFC North game, though? Like, every game's physical, but are those just a little more physical than every other week?
Oh, yeah, it's real physical because it's that division game, that division rivalry. It's always those two teams that usually end up in that AFC game, the AFC North. I forgot what it is. Been out so long. I've been out of football, man. Whatever that first name is, goddamn. But it's always that rival, not only just on the field but off the field as well, from their fans to our fans, all on the media. So. You got to get through Baltimore, and Baltimore know they got to get through Pittsburgh in order to get anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Those AFC North games, you're a little bit sore after. You usually get a walkthrough after that game because, it's the Walking Dead. It's guys that are bleeding, bruised, but ready every time you step up. Especially with these two teams, there's been a lot of, Super Bowls, a lot of history, a lot of playoff games. And so when you look at these two teams, they are looking to bludgeon each other. They are looking to get a knockout fight going. It's who can withstand the longest.
Is the building a little different, though? Like, does everybody know? Everybody knows what this week is, right? Is it a little more physical? You know what you're getting ready for Sunday, right?
Everybody know what they're getting into. From the players, like I said, from the fans. I mean, you feel that energy in the city when we're playing against the Baltimore Ravens. It's going to be that physical. It's going to be that hard-hitting game. It's going to be that hatred. It's going to be that rivalry. So it's just an exciting week, man. And I know the players are going to be – I ain't in the locker room, but shit, I'm fired up, and I'm
Look
not
at
in the
his
locker
face,
room.
Cam. Look at his face. He's ready to go this weekend. He's ready to come out of retirement and play right now. You can see it.
Man, well, you hit it on the nail. Everybody's excited for it. You talk about owner to the people preparing the food. Everybody knows it's a big week. The trainers are talking about it. Everybody circle these type of games. You look at these two teams. You look at the two records. Man, it's going through these two teams if you want to win the AFC North. And what better way to just kick off the AFC North? Like I said before, you gotta bring a hard hat. And these two teams, they're known for having Hall of Fame players. Mm-hmm. They're known for having Hall of Fame coaches. And so we're going to get their best shot. And what better way to do it than at Acrisure Stadium, welcoming the Baltimore Ravens.
Man, that's a funny name. I had no idea what the hell you was talking about.
I'm sorry it's not Heinz anymore, bro. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
It does need to be Heinz, though. The big ketchup bottle. Come on, man. You've got to miss it a little bit, Cam. Come on.
I do. But on to the Acrisure. On to the shirt.
You mentioned Lamar Jackson, though, and I'm interested to hear Lamar, and we talked about stopping him earlier. Is there a little more motivation, though, knowing this guy's a two-time MVP, maybe the frontrunner for the MVP this year, and arguably the most dynamic player in the league? What are you guys going to really have to do? I mean, what are you trying to stop, the pass or the run with him first?
Man, I think you're trying to stop everything. First you got to make sure he's not a runner because there are a couple times if you give him a lane and DBs have their backs turned, he could run into the end zone and hit his head on the goalpost. And then as he becomes a passer, and what you've seen these last couple of years is if he's a passer, he can still dice you up. He's got all the receivers. He's got Zay Flowers. He's got Bateman. He's now got Deontay Johnson, Mark Andrews, likely. They got explosive playmakers, so you got to make sure those guys are covered up. But you can't have too many eyes on those playmakers without having eyes on him. What would you have done, Wood?
Yeah, what's the 08 defense doing to Lamar Jackson?
The 08 defense? I mean, we're going to do what we do. We're going to play ball. We're going to get all 11 to the ball, as many guys as we can to the guy. And we're going to make him feel the pressure. I think that was always like our main objective, is get 2 or 3 guys to the ball. Everybody get to him and everybody hit him. Take a little football out of him. The same way it come with Derrick Henry. All guys get to him. And then when you start hitting to him, putting them shoulder pads on him a little bit, he start falling. Start getting rid of that ball a little bit more. So I think when Cam them up front, we got a similar defense to, what we have in Pittsburgh now. Those guys up front can get the job done. And when they get the job done, they start knocking those guys back. Then the game come the way we want it to come.
I feel it.
You have had success against him, Cam. What do you think you put that to? I mean, he's had some issues against the Steelers over his career. What have you guys done well against him?
Lamar, I think, you gotta get multiple hats to the ball, and the same thing with Derrick Henry. These guys are explosive. If they make one guy miss, they can't make 2 or 3. And that happens by guys running to the ball and creating those lanes, man. Lamar is dangerous, especially when he's going north to south. If we can get him going east to west and using the sideline as a boundary and making sure we collapse that, that's when you have success. When you start giving vertical holes and you start giving, lanes where, they can get the tracksuit on, you're in for a long day. And we can't allow that to happen on Sunday.
You're worried he's going to juke you out, aren't you? He gets you one-on-one in that backfield. You're concerned, right?
Hey, bro, don't do that. Don't do that. I ain't worried about that. Like, he's a great player, but shoot, I'm a great player too.
I will say you gently took down Jaden Daniels this weekend, so just do that again. I don't want any penalties this weekend. You gently laid him down. It was very nice of you. How you tackled, how you got Jaden.
The sack is a sack. Tuck him in for bed, baby.
I agree. However you get it.
Well, we want to move this part of the interview to more of about your time as the Steelers and ask what you think about the Steelers so far.
I think, this year as a team, we kind of started off, we just had some quarterback issues. Just trying to figure out who was going to be the starting guy in there. I think from a fan standpoint and the media standpoint, that's what everybody was looking at. But we just know as a defense what we need to go out there and get it done and gel together as a defense and hold the team up until we was been able to figure out that quarterback situation. And I think we do as the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think as a defense, we go out there and we just get shit done and find ways to win. So that's what I think we look at the team. I just think we just hard-nosed players. And as an organization, we go out there and we get those hard-nosed players every year.
What I want to ask you a follow-up. I remember, there was a year where Charlie Batch had to start the season off and had to play, I think, like the first 4 games. Kind of similar to how, Russ had to do and Justin Fields had to deal with it. What was y'all's mindset when, C. Batch had to step in when Ben was out?
We see Charlie. We seen Charlie every day in practice, so we knew what he can go out there and do. But like I was just saying, as a defense, we said we just got to go out there and we have to help win the game. We have to put our offense in good field position and didn't force Charlie to have to drive 80 yards down the field, but let's try to let him drive 50 yards down the field. So just do our part as a defense and not really focus on what's going on as an offense because that's really just out of your control. So stop the team from putting points on the board. If they put points on the board, give them 3 points. Let's get some turnovers. Let's score on defense, and let's put this ball on the other side of the field to allow us to put some points on the board easy. That's all it was.
What I was just thinking about when you were playing your celebration dance, the kick in the air, the Mortal Kombat kick. Where did that come from?
Oh, man, you know what? When you get a sack, you always try to think about what am I going to do when I get a sack and you need a sack celebration dance. So I always because I was a big fan of Joey Porter, man, that boot with the kick, I was just like, damn, I love that. But I couldn't do it because I'm like, damn, they're going to think I'm trying to be Joey Porter. So it was just like coming up with something different, just kicking in the door, getting in. If they don't let you in, kick your way in. And that's what I did. And I think one of the most exciting times that I did that kick is when Brett Hughes was joined along with me. And they caught us in the newspaper with me and Brett Hughes were doing that kick. Man, that shit was so sweet. But it came from that, though.
That's dope. I was also thinking, when you used to run through the tunnel, you used to do your Triple H.
Triple H, oh my god!
Where you drink the water, you spit it out. How iconic did you make that, bro? That was on point when you did that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, hey, listen. Growing up, man, I was a big WWF fan, but not WWE. And when you're not a starter, man, you always think about, man, when they come out that tunnel, if I ever get my chance to come out that tunnel, what I'm gonna do? Because it's almost like that WWE intro. You know what I'm saying? And now y'all got the smoke and the lights and now, so it's real exciting. But I was like, man, what could I do that's gonna really stand out? And I just always like that Triple H. And I was just like, I was at home practicing that and and I did it. So I'm glad you like it, man. I'm glad you like it.
That was cool. I gotta give you props on that one. That was smooth right there.
Hey, come on, bro. I was always creative now. Come on.
How come you've never given an ode to Lamar though on one of your sacks, Cam? You don't have a sack dance. You could have kicked in the door once to show respect.
Nah, he don't got no respect for me, man.
I mean, exactly.
No
what are we doing?
Damn,
and let me tell you, I seen Cam doing Super Bowl. Draft weekend. He was here in Detroit. I yelled out the window and he blew me off.
Hey, don't do that. Don't you dare do that.
I said, Cam, LaMarr Woodley. You said, and kept walking.
First of all, I didn't know who it was, and I was like, who is talking to me right now? And then I was like, oh, it's Wood. And then I called you right after. Don't be doing that. Don't be making it seem like I wasn't in.
Nah, you didn't do that. I was joking. No, I'm saying you did. I yelled out the window. I was like, Ohio State sucks. And then Cam turned around, and I said, yo, it's Wood. And then we ended up catching up. We talked in the lobby. I ended up catching up with him, man. So, nah, I was giving him a hard time.
And you don't even believe that about Ohio State.
No, you know what? Let me tell you, man. Last year, when we beat Ohio State at Michigan, Ryan Shazier came and hung out with me. I let him come up. He had his Ohio State stuff on. He came, he hung out with me, chilled in the box. You know what I'm saying? So it was a good time. I got no disrespect for any of my Ohio State teammates that I played with, from you, from San Antonio. I ain't even played with Ryan, but still a nation. Ryan, Beanie Wells, you know, he came down and acted in some of my stuff, man. So Ohio State, Boom Heron, Ohio State guys we've been good.
There we
Well,
go.
okay, let me ask you both this, since you guys have been a part of both rivalries. How do you compare Ravens Steelers to Michigan Ohio State week?
Man, Ohio State, Michigan, there is a hatred there. There is a dislike when it comes to, you know, because there are so many recruits that go back and forth. There's the Bo Schembechler. There's the Woody Hayes of it all. That history is crazy. But then the Steelers, Baltimore, yeah, we don't like you, but there's respect there. It's a hard hitting because both teams, you go through each other, and usually you were playing in the Super Bowl, and that's where the history is. But I don't know which one's better, man. That's cream of the crop right there. What do you think, Wood?
I have to say, when you went to Ohio State, Cam, and I went to Michigan, the rivalry was a little bit different because we kind of grew up in the rivalry. Where we were
Yeah.
there for, 3 or 4 years, and you had a chance to sit on the bench and have an opportunity to grow into the rivalry. Where now a lot of the guys kind of transfer in and out, so they really don't. I don't know, really don't have the understanding of what the rivalry is and grow up in that rivalry, because they might just got a couple dollars and came over and joined the rivalry but not understand it.
Very true.
When it comes to me, when it comes to that Baltimore and that Pittsburgh Steelers rivalry, it's just something else. It's something about when you playing in the NFL, you can talk a little bit more shit when you out there on the football field. You can get a little bit more tussling out there. You get what I'm saying? You ain't got to be
Yeah.
on college. You ain't got to be like it was in college, where you want to pretend like you a good guy so you can keep your draft stock up. You out there like, yo, who the fuck is you? You get what I'm saying? So it's a different man. You know what I'm talking about. You got to be a good guy when you're in college, because you're trying to keep your stock up, or he's a team player. He don't cause the team any penalty. In that Baltimore Ravens Steelers rivalry, it's ass kicking time. It's
Yeah.
extra pushing, cussing, tussling. I'll meet you in the locker room. Where you at? It's that type of feel. It's fights in the stands. It's on the field and in the crowd. So to me, that Baltimore Steelers rivalry, because of the NIL kind of messed up the other rivalry. Man,
Very
I gotta
true.
go with that black and gold and that purple and black.
Wood, you got a favorite story from the Steelers Ravens rivalry?
Yeah, it ain't really a funny story, but it is funny, but I don't know. But in in 2008, we were playing the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore, and Jonathan, I forgot, the blindside guy had he grabbed Troy, or he grabbed Ryan Mundy, and we all got into a big tussle on the fight. But I'm telling the story terribly, but we got into a tussle on the fight. We got into a tussle on the field, and we knocked over one of the referees. So when we knocked over the referee, he ended up having to go into the hospital, and because he had a lump on his chest. So when he had a lump on his chest, he found out that he had cancer, right?
Right.
And so, like, a year later, he came back into the locker room, like, thanking me and Ryan Mundy for knocking him over. Because if we would have never knocked him over, he'd have never had that chest pain. He would have never found out he had cancer. So I would
Oh,
say,
man.
like, I told that story terrible, but we knocked him over. He had chest pain. Chest pain, found out he had cancer. So we saved his life during the
Damn.
fight.
Hey, that
Might not
is
be the story you're looking for, but I got some. That was all I had.
no, that's a hero moment for you. You got to take props for that.
Yeah.
No,
just
Wood,
can't
I want to
believe-
talk about Super Bowl. You had the game clinching sack to end the game versus Kurt Warner. What was that feeling like?
Man, honestly, Cam, it was like a movie moment, because it's like however much time left on the clock, you go to the sideline and Coach Tomlin over there talking to me like, "Wood, we need a big play. We need a big play." He got his hand on my helmet, and any player, he's like, "Yeah, Coach, I got you." and you go out there and the ball snap, and I'm just watching Kurt Warner. I'm coming off and I'm rushing. He got his eyes on me, because that's the one thing about rushing from the right side. Like, the fucking quarterback can see you, bro. It's hard a little bit sometimes on that right side. You got to get a little creative on the right side. And I was able to get creative enough. The secondary did a great job of holding up. And when I seen Kurt pulling that ball back, I kind of like Superman, knocked the ball loose. Brett Keegsel jumped on it and never gave me that damn Super Bowl ball back. So I'm sick. And he caught me at the right moment, though. He caught me at the right moment. Brett Keegsel caught me at the right moment. As soon as the game was over, he like, "Would you want the ball?" Like, "No, man, forget that ball. We just won the Super Bowl." But then when I got home, I realized I should have took that ball. And I've been trying to get that ball back about 12, however many years it's been now.
Oh, BK's got it in his house somewhere.
Yeah, he got. I told him if he ever invite me over, I'm gonna steal that ball. That's why he ain't got no invite yet.
All right, I want to talk a little bit more, though, about your personal 2 sacks in the AFC Championship game against the Ravens. You've dominated this rivalry. How did you not go there instead of the story's great about the ref, but how did you go to Eddie? You've had 8.5 sacks career against the Ravens. No sack stands out. What about the almost scoop and score when Troy strapped sacks Flacco, too?
As a matter of fact, I did get a scoop and score against the Baltimore Ravens in 2008. James Harrison came off the edge, called the sack forced fumble. I picked it up and ran it into the end zone. I think that might have been my first NFL touchdown that year, and by far that was a great moment. Like, that was a great moment. Like, another time, I remember, I forgot what the play was called, but I veered down to the inside, and when I came down the inside, Ray Rice tried to cut me, and I kind of like jumped over and grabbed Joe Flacco, and I slammed him. Like, whenever I got a quarterback, it was like, fuck it, make him pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Take this fine, but it's going to help the team. And it's also going to put on tape for next week to let the quarterback know, you better get down when 56 grab you.
Wood, how would you have done with these refs now and how they call the game?
Adjusted like y'all did so I don't lose my money. And I'd have been falling on them like this and shit. And I'd have been doing I would have changed my whole attitude to protect the money. But then, sometimes, though, you might take one for the team.
Yeah.
Because you gotta make an example out of somebody. So I think a couple of those quarterbacks, I'd have made an example out of him to let him know you playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers today.
I feel that.
Yeah, but you're going to change your mindset for that money, though. That's $10,000 fine. You're going to go to slam it. Oh, shit, that's $10,000.
It gets worse. Each time you do it, they keep hitting you harder, too, right? So it's it's even worse if you keep doing it.
Yeah, they keep hitting them pockets. You're going to find out how to – during the offseason, you're going to be working on tackling. Well,
who was the hardest quarterback to sack during your time?
Man, I don't think it was no hard quarterback to sack during our time. I just think teams really just feared us, man. Like, we played so aggressive.
Yeah.
No quarterback. No, I take that back. Tom Brady. Yeah, Tom Brady. Yeah, that's that quarterback. I ain't never seen a guy so comfortable in the pocket. Like, it was just easy work. His hands was in this. I hate this right here. He do this right here, just comfortable. I'll say Tom Brady had a field day with us one year. It didn't even feel like we played in the game the way he picked us apart. So I would give credit and say Tom Brady was probably the toughest quarterback to get after.
Is that when everybody was saying they had our plays?
Yeah. I won't go say that. But yeah, he was hard to take down.
What was the one thing you loved about having Coach Labeau as your DC?
Man, he listened. I can tell you that. I think Coach Labeau did a great job of like listening to his players. He wasn't like a coach that was just stuck in his ways. He understood that the players was out there playing, and he coaches, but the players is out there playing, and he would listen to us and make those adjustments. I've been on other teams where coordinators are not making no adjustments. They see it their way and their way only. And I think Coach Labeau did a great job of always listening to his players and rallying us up on the sideline when it's always came to those difficult situations. Knowing how to talk to the players and trusting us, man. So when you had a guy that trusts us and we knew he trusts us, we went out there and we played our hardest for him. And that's what I think every guy on the team did.
How'd y'all deal with Mike Teal his rookie year?
You know, Coach Tomlin rookie year was my first. Coach Tomlin drafted me first. So I was,
so you the baby, baby. You're his baby.
I put that work in though. I brought him a ring home. But Coach Tomlin the first year, it was great. At least for me it was. But a lot of the veteran guys, they didn't like the way he ran practice. I guess training camp was a little harder, practice a little harder. And I used to sit over there just to hear what the fuck they had to say. They were like, man, they mad he was running practice like, man, Coward, they do it this way. Coward is always Coward didn't do it this way. Coach Coward didn't do it this way. So that first year, Coach Tomlin was getting the team together, but I wouldn't say people was against him because they still loved him, but he just overworked us, and he had to because he was a new coach and he had to come put his foot down. And I think eventually they understood that and they played for him, but he just ran the show a little bit different.
Now I want to talk about some of your teammates. What was it like playing with Troy?
Hey, it was great playing with Troy, man. I remember one time in the game, I was rushing. I had a dog rush one. And I mean, I'm ready to go. And I heard somebody come down on the left side of me said, LaMarr dropping the flats. And when the ball snapped, I said, oh, that's Troy. I just dropped in the flats. Because Troy could come in and he could just change the play up, not the player, but the responsibility. And he was a good guy. Yeah. I love playing with Troy. I mean, there's nothing bad to say. I mean, of course, can't say nothing bad about him, but just all great things. Great teammate, great person. Family was great. He worked hard. He communicated with us on the field, and he helped us do what we do.
Okay, now I want to bring up you and James Harrison. How did teams block y'all? Like, what was y'all's game plan day in and day out? How did y'all go about y'all's business together?
I think it wasn't a game plan. I think it was just two dogs getting together. James Harrison, the pedigree that he have, the type of player that he is, what he gonna bring to the game. And I think James had been in the league probably 6-7 years before I got there. Me coming from Michigan, coming off some great years there. Coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers and joining the great defense, I think it was just a hell of a combination. Kind of like that combination we got now. And when you have two dogs coming off the edge and getting after people and don't take no shit, it's kind of hard to pick your poison on who you're going to block. And that's what I think it was with me and James Harrison. But not just being James Harrison, it was them dogs in the middle. You know what I'm saying? With Casey Hampton sitting in the middle. I had Aaron Smith next to me. He had Brett Kiesel next to him. When you got guys like that too that can get after the quarterback, it's going to allow you to be free. It's going to allow you to be you. You get what I'm saying? So I think them guys allowed me to be me. The guys in the middle, so we was able to eat off the guys doing what they was doing. So I got to give them their credit before I even, we did, but them guys in the middle did what they did. Like I had never played next to a guy like Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith was a dog, you know what I'm saying? Not just a dog, but he was a good dude. You know what I'm saying? He was a good dude. He worked hard every day. I felt that when he left. You know what I'm saying? When Aaron Smith left, I wish I had Cam Heyward on my side, but I ain't get that. You feel what I'm saying? I got some other work. But I think overall it was just when you look at the formula of that defense, we had 11 dogs on the field. And when you have a lot of 11 dogs on the field, everybody's going to shine. And they can't just double team this person or double team this person. They gotta pick their poison a little bit. And I think we all took advantage of that. And that defense took advantage of that. I definitely took advantage of that.
It's funny you bring that up. You talk about the inside D line. One thing Mike T just brought up, he was talking about, if you playing right, everybody can eat. and he talked about that 2008 picture y'all took for the ESPN magazine, and you had all the D line, all the inside linebackers, all the outside linebackers. You had the nickel, you had the dime, you had the safeties. They ain't making pictures like that. But speak about like that magazine picture and how iconic that picture is.
Man, that was so dope. You know, definitely for me, my second year in the NFL, I'm a starter on this team, making some noise on this team, and knowing we finna be on ESPN cover. And they only wanted the 11 starters on the cover at first.
Mm.
But, you know, the veteran guys on the team said, nah, man, these guys need to come in too. They're part of the team. So it played out like that, and it was a great shoot. And that's how our bond was throughout the entire year. You know, it was like on that team, whenever a guy went down, another guy stepped in, like our D lineman from Nick Easton and Hope and
Yep.
I forgot some of the other guys on there, but whenever that D line rotate, it was like we didn't miss a beat because that second team that came in was a bunch of dogs too. We just had a bunch of dogs on the first string and second string that was just ready to get after people.
I got a question though. I heard for that shoot, a lot of you guys were doing push-ups just to make your arms look bigger. Is that true?
Yeah, a couple guys in there doing a couple guys in the front doing a couple push-ups, getting right. Hemp had to get his shirt right, you know what I'm saying? Cover up that pouch he had in the front. And me and Jane decided we're going to put our hands up in the back so we could be seen because this picture done got a little bit crowded. So, yeah, that did happen in that picture, though.
Now I want to talk to what you're doing now. Tell everybody what's going on with LaMarr Woodley after football.
Today I'm involved. Well, you know, even when I was playing, I was doing a lot of film and production stuff. After I retired from football, I did the NFL Network show, Tackle My Ride, did that for 2 years. And then I just kind of stayed into like the film area and not necessarily wanted to be a host, but wanted to get into the production side. Over the last couple of years, I've created a couple pilots, couple reality shows, not on any networks or anything like that, but just solely understanding the business and getting better at it every day. Last year, we was on a roll with a Kevin Hart comedian. His name is William Spank Horton. We produced a 10-city episode tour with him that we in post-production on right now. So I'm doing that. We was with women's professional fighter Carissa Shields out of Flint, Michigan, for her heavyweight championship fight. That was at Little Caesars Arena on July 27th. I filmed her whole training camp, so we producing that. Right now I'm in film school, a year-long program. I go 4 days a week, 6:30 to 10:30 every night, in-person, hands-on. I'm in film school because I want to learn the ins and out of every position. I understand it for our producer, but I want to understand every role that everybody does in this production. I want to know the ins and outs. I want to know everybody's job because it's going to make me a better leader. So that's why I'm committed to this class, so I can be overall a better leader and with my production company. So yeah, man, I'm in the film, man. That's my passion and joy, man. As you see, my voice changed a little bit from when we talked to football about this, because this is my football now, bro. This is what I do now. You feel me? Like this is what I
Yeah.
do. Yeah, we got to
What's
shoot
the
right
dream
now.
project? What's the
Yeah,
dream project for you?
You know what? I don't really have a dream project. Man, I'm having fun. I've been having fun meeting people, working on different things, watching some of my ideas that's in my head go on paper and then bringing them to life. Produced a project that's on YouTube, and it's on YouTube at Area 56. It's called Overdraft. I produced it's loosely based on me, about a player that's just getting drafted and what happens when you get drafted, dealing with money when it comes to family and friends and the decisions that you have to make. And I talked about some of the things that I've faced and being taken advantage of as an athlete. And we all do. We all get taken advantage of as an athlete. And I share that story because sometimes you guys behind you that take that hit, as you see some athletes take hits, man, and they don't come back from that shit and they got to file for bankruptcy and all that shit. So it's kind of just a life lesson, man, with Overdraft I told. So you can check it out. It's on Area 56 Entertainment on YouTube. I produced that series 100% myself. Yeah, man, I own my own cameras. I got my own equipment. I have a media house, man. Like, I'm serious about this man.
Go. There you go. I love that. Is there a teammate you would love to work with one day?
Man, I would love to work with you. I'd love to do some stuff with you, man. I've been
That was a
watching
loaded
you.
question, Lamar. He was
I
praying you
was
were
no, I
saying
was
him.
not
He
expecting.
was
I was not
praying you were
expecting
going to
you to
say
say that.
him. He wants
No,
to
I
do what you're
wasn't. Don't
doing.
do that,
He
bro.
was praying for you to say him. That's what he was
I
praying
ain't.
for.
Don't do that.
Hey, Ken, and I say that because I seen that stuff you was shooting with the Steelers when you was kind of like going around sacking people. Um,
The
who
schedule
was that? Was
release,
that?
right? The schedule release.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I thought
Yeah.
that was dope, man. Like you started to show your personality more because you got a dope personality, and I'm glad you doing this show because I've always thought you had a dope personality. So me like seeing you do that, man, that's cool. Like I love if one day we do some stuff together or whatever. If we don't, I don't give a fuck about that either. But if we did, that's cool too.
Yeah. I would love that. Shoot, I
Yeah.
wasn't. I wasn't. I wasn't fishing for no compliments or
He
anything.
wanted you to
Nah.
say, I want your acting chops in my work, Lamar. He wanted you to be like, my next project, you're in, Cam. That's what he wanted.
Hey
Yeah.
yo, hey, then chill out,
That's what
bro.
he
Hey,
wanted.
but I'm like I said, man. I'm glad to see Cam like doing this thing, doing this stuff, doing the stuff with the Steelers when you and Hutchinson did the commercial for the Super Bowl. Like I thought that was dope, man. So like you got a dope personality, man. So keep doing that.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you, and you keep doing you, because I got to check out that thing on YouTube. But man, it's an honor to once played with you, but it's even better to see what you're doing now, and hopefully we get to work together soon.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. We just independent producers trying to make it. That's all.
I feel it.
I
Shoot, that's what
appreciate
we
y'all.
do.
I appreciate y'all having me on, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Wood. We'll catch up with you later.
All right.
Thanks, Lamar. See you.
All right, now let's go to our 3 and out segment. Hayden, you want to get us kicked off?
Yeah, actually, let's start first down here, and I'm actually going to need you to explain to me what actually happened on this. Can you help me out here on this one?
Oh, we're going right to it.
Because I don't understand Mike Williams' post, and I need someone to tell me. So Mike Williams obviously had a great touchdown catch on Sunday,
Right.
the game-winning touchdown, the new acquisition.
Yes.
Might be featured in Game Balls later, not just a little foreshadowing here.
Yes.
But he posted something today about Redline. Now, please explain to me what that post actually meant, because I don't remember that. I don't remember exactly.
Just speaking off the top of my head, I think someone had said that he didn't run the right route, and he wasn't on the red line, and he was given, he was taking the blame for a lot, and so, man, it was a tough situation coming from it, but man, way to respond, and what better way to respond with a tutty on Sunday? It was a beautiful throw from Russ. Even crazier catch by Mike, and it hit all the fields in the right place.
It did. I will say that is a great caption. The picture is wonderful on it too. He looks very happy compared to where he was about a week and a half ago. So
Yeah.
very cool to see that. Love that he's thrown a little shade though. I will say that because dude's been here for like 33 seconds and made a huge play on Sunday. And you're right. He must have ran the right line or red line, right? That's really what would have happened. How pumped are you though, man, to get production from a guy who's really just got there? I mean, and I know he was on the field because Calvin Austin was out, but you're right. Ball was on the money, but how happy are you for him? Seriously.
Very happy. Him and Preston Smith both made big plays in that spot, and I think when you watch the game and you watch us go out there, it's a multitude of guys making plays, and week in and week out, we're finding ways to win with different guys, but the same results. We get the W.
I'll say this. It feels like a little bit of the Mike Tomlin and Cam Heyward pettiness, though, is coming out in this team, and I love it. I love it. I mean, what was Russ's dance? I mean, what was the dance after that? Felt a little like we got him. Tomlin saying we got him. I mean, the pettiness feels like it's coming out a little bit, but I think that's good. I think that's a good sign for the team.
I'm not petty.
Oh,
Mike
my
T's
gosh.
petty. I'm not petty, though.
Jeez, you're right. You're not petty. I mean, come on. Like I said, maybe it's Tomlin, then it's you who's the next petty on that football team right now. Now, granted, the age helps. You guys are closer in age than most everybody else on the team. So,
Hey, I resent that. You're old too now.
Wait, I'm a year younger than you, so it's the same thing. We're both a little older, but we're closer to Coach T in age than most of the guys on the team, and that's just a fact.
I don't know about that. Mike
But
T's
your
like one of the
pettiness,
oldest in the league now. He's one of the oldest coaches in the league. How about that?
is he really?
Yeah.
Wow. He still looks good though. I can't deny that. The guy still looks good. But the pettiness is out. I'm telling you right now. There was pettiness all over that field on Sunday. Okay? There was, and I love it. I think we need more of it this week. We need more pettiness this week.
You know, be petty when you win. It's when you talk your stuff and you can back it up. That's all that matters.
Also, first video of the locker room this week, which I really appreciated too. You look like you were having a good time in there. I know we're not allowed to talk about it.
I didn't post any video.
Not you, but there was a video that I think came out from the locker room. Maybe it was an old one, but I saw a video of you guys enjoyed yourself. So
I think
hey,
that
that's all
might have
that
been an
counts,
old
man.
one. I think that might have been an old one. I haven't. We didn't have one of those epic walking your trap, take over your trap moments. But
Wait,
yeah.
so the video I watched is not accurate, man. The internet sucks. I wish I was something that was that accurate. But I will say I saw you embrace Russ after, and you seemed pretty pumped up. So I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
man.
guessing there was a little fun in that locker room after.
Yeah, big game moments, stepping up. That's what you live for. And you know, when tough times happen, you know, and things aren't going your way, that's when we step up the most. And you gotta love coming out of that stadium with a big W like that.
Yeah, no, great to see new guys too, helping out. And like I said, just getting there and being able to contribute is awesome. So, all right, second down, the Bears fired their offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron. How much, when you see these guys getting fired, throughout the middle of the season, sorry, I was looking at something. How lucky are you that you've never really had to deal with anything quite like this? I know last year there was something similar to this, but you guys have really not had a whole lot of turnover mid-season before in your career.
Maybe I don't understand it all the time that, how lucky I am to have a coach and have a lot of stability in our locker room. I know it happened a little bit, but you see the turnover around the league, and there's not a lot of trust there. And sometimes patience is key, and a lot of these teams don't have a lot of patience. They're ready to throw them out. They're not ready to. Sometimes if you move on so quick, you're hamstringing your younger players because now they have to adapt to a new situation, a new type of style of coaching, and you're not allowing them to grow up and learn from those mistakes. And so, the only reason coaches get fired because of players, because the players have to execute, and if they don't execute, everybody's at fault for it. So I don't know if it changes their situation, but we'll see what happens.
It just seems like a lot more coaches this year, whether it's offensive coordinators, head coaches, are getting fired midway through the season. And I'm kind of like you, like how much can really change, right? It's still going to be the same scheme if you fire the offensive defensive coordinator, right? It's just a different person calling plays.
Yeah. You hope there's no, stuff going on behind the scenes where it's, one guy feeding information and another guy not listening or listening but not listening to the other guy. That can be unfortunate because then there's not a true communication between all. And a lot can be lost in translation. And the goal should always be winning. If we have it's got to be one band, one sound. Everybody's got to follow the same accord. And if we can't do that, then there has to be some type of change. I just don't know what it needs to be.
Yeah, and also to do that to a rookie quarterback too, just got to be. I mean, you got to try to set those guys up for success, right? That's just a tough spot for Caleb Williams to be in. All right, let's go to third down here. You've played at Jerry World before, but this weekend we had
whoa.
What?
I have third down.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Go for it.
I have third down.
Go for it. I apologize.
Are you ready for this?
You've been selling this. You better be good because
this is very
one of those classic situations where you may have oversold. I'm just going to tell you right now.
I have not oversold.
All right, go for it.
Before the game, all right, let me set this up properly. I go out, warm up. I come back in, right, getting ready for the game. Mm-hmm. Guess, and this is the thing. Everybody was a little bit shocked when I came in. I was like, what's going on? There was a snake in our locker room. A snake in our locker room. And it was coming from the bottom of Russ's locker. It really weird. Threw everybody for a loop. We were all confused. I looked at Darnell and I was like, do you want to like catch this and eat this or what? But like there was a snake in our locker room and everybody was like thrown for a loop. They said our PR guy Bert, jumped up on top of a locker. He was so scared. But that nobody's talked about this. We had a snake in our locker room.
What?
A snake, not a mouse, not a rat.
Let's break this down.
Snake in our locker room.
First off, do we think someone placed that snake in there on purpose in Russ's locker?
Bro, I don't know. I don't think Russ is a snake charmer or anything, but like that, like I don't know where that snake came from, but that is just wild to like have that happen before a game. Like I was not expecting to see that. I didn't see it personally, but like everybody was just like kind of like in shock about it.
Has there been discussion of keeping the snake as a rallying crawl, as like a rally snake to go off to the Super Bowl and you take that thing to New Orleans with you? Have we talked about that?
Hell no. I don't want that damn snake in my locker room.
Okay, and then what happens?
If it winds up in my cleat, I'm going to freak out. I'm not playing that. We don't play with snakes in my house.
If I said the snake gets you to New Orleans, would you? If you guys just got to keep the snake, it gets you to New Orleans, you'd do it.
Oh, yeah, I'd do that in a heartbeat. I'd keep that snake in my back pocket if it took that. But, like, other than that, like, snakes and Cam Heyward do not mix.
Okay. How'd they get rid of the snake?
Nobody got it.
Wait, no. Wait a minute.
Nobody got it.
There is
slithered right back under. It slithered right back under the locker, so nobody was able to get it.
So there is a snake right now is it FedEx Field?
Yes.
There's a snake roaming around the opposing locker room. Really?
Yes.
And you know what's weird? That's not even probably the weirdest thing that's happened to that stadium. I've seen horror stories from that stadium. Is it as bad as I've read? I mean, clearly it is.
I don't know what other stories you've heard, but this snake is at the top of my list right now.
I mean, okay, so let me ask you this, and you don't have to. How many guys were freaked out?
Oh, there was tons. And
yeah, everybody was freaked.
Even before the game, it was a smaller locker room, and Mike T was like, we could make a big deal about, a small locker room or, there being a snake, but doesn't matter. We still got to win. Like, whatever it takes. It's not going to stop us from winning. And so it kind of just played into our mantra.
I was going to say, that's getting out of the stadium alive, literally, at that point. Tomlin always says that, get out of the stadium alive. You asked about some of the things that happened at Washington. There was once a sewage leak that was leaking in, like, on, fans in the stands and stuff. So, yeah, they've had issues there. They need to get a new stadium with the new ownership there. Wow. I didn't have that on the bingo card.
Did it live up to it?
That was pretty good. Here's the thing. You're right. That's breaking news because I've not heard that. The even bigger thing, though, is that nobody got the snake. So I'm curious. You come back after the win. Everybody's celebrating. The snake didn't come back out, or what happened?
No, I don't think anyone even thought about the snake after we won. We were just kind of elated from the win, but, like, packed up, got everything. But, like, nobody even mentioned the snake. It was kind of eerie that, like, nobody even thought about it. Like, it could literally be in somebody's bag right now.
I was going to say, that's dangerous. The snake could be in Pittsburgh now because, wow, that probably needs to be bigger news. We probably need to let who's going to Philly or Washington next know that. I know Philadelphia's playing them Thursday. I don't know where that game is, but wow. Man, that's, wow. And you're not a snake guy, right? You're not.
Not a snake guy. We don't play with snakes.
Neither am I. That's I'm surprised you were able to go out and play so well. That was that would have really shook me up, I think, before the game. See that. How much we talking before the game, by the way?
So I came in after the locker room. So it was probably 25 minutes before we were warming up.
Okay, before warming up. Okay.
Yeah.
But still.
And so we were then still going to have to come back in after we warmed up. But, like, nobody even thought about the snake.
Man, that's breaking news. I had not heard that. That's kind of crazy. But the media knew about this and didn't say anything?
I think one player had mentioned it, but, like, it was kind of like in passing, but nobody else followed up on it. It was really weird. No player really said anything about it. Really crazy. And you know what's funny? There's probably a bunch of music playing, so not every player knew that there was a snake there. And so now once they hear the pod, they're going to know there's a snake. There was a snake that may be in their bag right now.
Man, that's terrifying too, though. Like, that's horrible. Imagine getting ready to go play football and then you see a snake just chilling around your bag and stuff. I can't believe it was under Russ, too, of all people. Like, Come on, man. Like, I don't know. That's insane. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, you want to go to fourth down here?
Let's do it.
We're gonna go to monkeys escaping. A monkey's escaping from a lab for the 4th time in South Carolina. If you're a South Carolina resident, you got to be like, what are we doing here, right?
Are we doing it on purpose? Is this like another Tiger King situation? Like, are we trying to turn this into another Planet of the Apes moment? Like, when they just go out in the wilderness and then they somehow take over the human race. It's just South Carolina's getting crazier and crazier, man. I don't know what to expect.
Well, it begs to ask the question: what's worse, snakes break out of a place and they're just roaming around, or monkeys are roaming around? I don't know. I mean,
no, snakes, 100%. Like, if I see a snake infestation, I am trembling. But monkeys I can deal with, I think.
is that one of those situations where, like, if a snake is in your house, you're pretty much just moving? You're just deciding we're leaving, or how's that work? Or what
So
do you?
I've had to get rid of some snakes, personally. But my wife, she ain't touching them. I'm the one who has to deal with it. It's just the way it is.
I don't know. Part of me would think it'd be kind of funny if you tried to get rid of a snake or a monkey who had come in the house because they had escaped from a lab. Watching
So
you
my
try to get rid
kids
of
are
them.
not scared at all of snakes. And it's funny. The year of the snake is 2025. I just know that.
Is it really?
Yes.
Did you look that up after the
No,
Washington incident, or you just
I don't
know?
know why I looked that up, but the year of the snake is 2025. One of our teammates, Jacob Slade, I call Jake the Snake. Shout out Jake the Snake. That's just his nickname. I've been calling him. I say he slithers around the South Side.
Nice. Nice.
But it's just all these snakes. I don't know what it's referring to, but maybe it's a good sign.
Maybe if I will say if 2025 is the year of the snake, the Super Bowl's in 2025. So maybe, hopefully, somebody brought the snake home, and
Whoa, that could be mind blowing stuff.
listen. This is where it all started. The snake, the year of the snake. All right, you want to go game balls and tackle for loss?
Let's do it. I'm going to start with a game ball. And,
Okay.
we're starting to have this recurring thing where we give a game ball for a sack celebration. And I have to give one to Cameron Bynum, the Minnesota running back, for doing the celebration when he got a touchdown of the break dancer from the Olympics. It was he went through every part of it. I thought
I know.
I thought it was pretty iconic, and I just think when he's like laying on the ground and he's kind of like doing like the whole fish thing, that I die laughing every time I see that.
That was great. I will say, it took me a minute to figure out what he was doing, but the second he did the hands in the air thing, I knew
Yes.
exactly what he was doing. I knew exactly what he was doing. By the way, I think she quit Olympic competition because everybody kind of crapped on her so much, which rightfully so. I mean, come on, you got to be better, okay? And
You have to expect that when you're in Olympics, you're going to be
absolutely,
on TV. That's
100%.
part of the thing.
That was a great sack dance. Great one. I'm going to give a game ball to Coach Prime in Colorado. Another win on Saturday. I can't lie. They keep winning games. I did not think they'd be this good. I knew Shadur was awesome. I knew Travis Hunter was awesome. I just didn't know how good the rest of the team would be and how, they would handle this year, but they have been great. And I think I speak for everybody. I hope they make the playoff. I hope they win the Big 12. I hope they get in the playoff. It would be fun. I think if Shadur's coming in your building, you got an issue because that guy's terrifying. And Travis Hunter as well, too. Two great players. So good on Colorado, and I hope they keep winning.
I totally agree with you. They got a squad over there, and they got that 1-2 punch that nobody really wants to see in the playoffs. But if they get in there, they're gonna make some noise. My next game ball, I'm gonna have to go. This episode is gonna come out on Thursday, but it is the preview of what we get on Friday. You know what we get on Friday?
Tyson, Jake Paul? Or
Yes.
Tyson, yeah, I
Tyson,
knew
Jake
that was
Paul.
Friday. I knew that was Friday.
Yes, Netflix. I just got caught up. I was watching the episodes leading up to this. I thought it was amazing setup. I think from an outsider's perspective, in watching both of those guys, they both have something to prove. For Tyson, he's trying to prove you don't mess with that dog ever. And if you do poke the bear, you're gonna get your head, eaten. And then from Paul's perspective, Jake Paul's perspective. Wait, no, it's Aaron Paul.
It's Jake
Right?
Paul.
Jake,
Jake.
Jake Paul.
Who's Aaron? Is Aaron Paul the guy from Breaking Bad?
Oh, wow.
Different guy.
Totally.
Different guy.
Different
Different
guy.
guy.
My
Different
fault.
guy. Yeah.
But when you look at his perspective, he's looking at it as everybody is already saying he's going to lose. They don't think he fights quality boxers, and every time he's getting a chance to step up. So it was really fun to watch. I'm looking forward to watching it on Friday.
I was actually planning on watching that, so it is worth the watch. Like some of the clips I've seen have been awesome.
Yes.
Honestly, too, genius way of Netflix to sell that fight leading up to it. Because I remember it was supposed to be over the summer. Something happened, and then now they're fighting this week. I mean, I'm going to watch it. Jake Paul's probably going to win, right? We think.
I'm going with Mike Tyson.
I hope he does. I hope Tyson wins. It would be awesome.
I'm going with Mike Tyson. It was funny hearing Mike talk, and then like Mike was just like, I'm gonna hurt him, like, and he was like dead serious, like, you better bring it or I'm going to murder you if you're not careful.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to watch it. I'm hoping Tyson wins, but I'm just worried. Jake Paul normally doesn't schedule fights that he's gonna lose. So, all right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give Patrick Queen a game ball. Led the team in solo tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and I'm not gonna lie, that guy was everywhere on Sunday. I mean, he really stood out, ran down Jaden Daniels a few times. Very excited to see how amped up he is, though, for this weekend. I think him and Deshaun Elliott. Didn't Landon Roberts play for the Ravens, too?
No.
Oh, I thought he did.
Played for the Patriots and he played for
the Dolphins, too. Okay, my bad. Regardless, excited to see Patrick Queen this Sunday against his former team, and he looked great. My opinion, his best game as a Steeler on Sunday.
Yeah, PQ definitely came the ball out, and a lot of times we had certain responsibilities for outside linebackers, inside linebackers, and to see them flowing so fast, that's a good show. And against, that was the appetizer to now we get the feast with Lamar Jackson. So we got our work cut out for us, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no.
My next game ball goes from the Tampa Bay 49ers game. Have you seen this? Baker Mayfield shrugging off Nick Bosa to deliver a dart, but it's not about the pass. It's more about the stiffy he gave to Nick Bosa the entire time. Say, get off me, get off me, get off me, and then boop. I thought it was pretty cool to see, and to watch Baker deliver that's a really exciting play. I think you can't say enough good things about great players, but that was probably one of the top plays this week.
Incredible play. I mean, because Baker's not that big of a guy, and to hold off Bosa like that, 4th and 7, not giving up, and then to convert too. Great play by the receiver. I don't remember who caught the ball, but great play on 4th and 7. I mean, I'm watching that play on Sunday, dude. I'm like, oh my, I don't know how he was able to do it. So fantastic play by Baker. I'm going to give one to Dan Campbell. You probably didn't catch it because you're not a huge Sunday night football guy. I feel like you're kind of asleep by that point because you had something going on that day. But halftime of the game, they're kind of getting their butts whipped. He does a halftime interview, asked, what are we going to need to do to win the game? Well, our defense is going to have to get turnovers. While they're playing the interview, interception Lions, they get the ball back immediately. The dude basically told them what they were going to do to win the game in the second half, and they did it. The Lions are playing great. Dan Campbell's awesome. And, it was he's like a prophet. He knew exactly what they needed to do, and they did it.
Next game ball, I'm giving to one of my guys at Ohio State, Jeremiah Smith, and setting the freshman record for most TDs in a season. Jeremiah Smith has balled all season long, and he's looking like a man amongst boys.
Good player. Touchdowns versus Purdue should not count, though. Purdue is the worst football team in the country. They are terrible, and I wish Michigan played them. I wish Michigan played them, okay? I wish. It would be nice, okay? It would be nice. Terrible football team. Sorry if you're a Purdue fan, to anybody who's listening to this, but, they should not count. All right, I'm going to give, dueling game balls here to the 2 new additions, Mike Williams and Preston Smith, both key contributors on Sunday, which I don't know if anybody thought they would be able to contribute just because they got there so quickly. But when they were thrown in there, man, they showed up. Preston Smith had a sack and I think another tackle for loss, and then Mike Williams too was just, that catch. I think the crazy thing about that is you're right. The throw is amazing, dude. If you watch some of those angles on that catch, that is not an easy play, and he made a great play. And like I said, congratulations to them, and very happy as a Steeler fan they're here.
So it's crazy. We had a playing practice, and I kid you not, um, that is exactly how it looked in practice. I
Yeah.
think Mike might have stayed on his feet, but it was delivered just like that. And Mike caught it, and you're like, oh, so this might be something that happens on Sunday. Um, but for everything leading up, I don't think Mike had any bigger play than that. But man, that was pretty special. And then just working with Preston, came with the right mindset. The only thing about Preston I feel bad for, he hasn't had a bye week. He won't have a bye week this year.
Oh
He got
man,
traded on his bye week, bro. Got traded on his
wow.
bye week. And so I feel bad for him, but man, you can rest after the season because we got to get this work out of you. And it paid off this week with Alex down. We're gonna need guys like him and Nick Herbert to get back to us. But we gotta get rolling, and it's great to have these guys step up in critical moments.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize the bye week thing. Zadarius Smith did the same thing. That's why I think the Lions held him out this past weekend just to give him the rest. So interesting. That's wow, man. I do feel bad for him on that. I got another game ball. Just
But
George Pickens. I mean, from the catch to the stiff arm on the sideline to when the ball was intercepted. I mean, people were saying he looked like he was eating Mike Saterstill's face. I mean, just George Pickens gets a game ball for just being George Pickens. I mean, that guy is amazing to watch and an incredible talent. I mean, there is no way around it. The guy is just awesome.
I'll say one thing about GP: he is one of one,
Yes.
and he will always be one of one
Yeah.
because GP is you can't duplicate him, you can't hold him back. GP is gonna be GP, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. No. Amazing player. Go ahead.
Last game ball for me goes to the hard count. How about getting the hard count at a critical point? Russ Williams. I keep saying Russ Williams.
I know.
Wilson. Stepping up in that moment. He's tried to get us offsides plenty of times. But the offensive line holding down. Getting set quick. Everybody, executing at a high level. You feel bad for the guy who jumped off sides, but we are happy on this side of the ball he did.
How good is Russ at that compared to other quarterbacks?
I think it takes inflection in your voice. It's got to take, understanding pace, understanding just the steadiness that you have to go through to what and then you ramp up. And it's got to be believable. You just do set hut. I don't think anyone's really believing that, but you got to really set it up well. And what a critical and perfect time to do it.
How much did Tomlin being a degenerate, his words, not mine, early in the game, going for it on fourth down in the fourth quarter on your side of the 50, did that play into it though, where Washington was like thinking, all right, they could run this considering they did it earlier in a spot they probably should have punted?
I don't know. What Mike T's favorite things to say? We don't live in our fears, and it's you're in a critical and hostile environment. You convert that, you pick up the first down, but there was no blinking, there was no feeling sorry for ourselves after we didn't get the punt fake, but later on it paid off to step us in the right direction.
I just love that he called himself a degenerate. That is great. He's a gambler, man. You could see it. And by the way, perfectly executed play. Just James Pierre, tough moment. That's fine, but I still think it's the right play. I love the
Yeah,
aggressiveness, and I think at the end of the day, you executed perfectly. It just didn't work out. So
yeah.
that's great. All right, you want to go TFLs?
Let's go TFLs. All right, I want to talk about Dallas and not being able to see the ball because there's a glare. Um, you know, for everybody that talks about having these new fields and all this window and everything, and it's unfortunate it worked out like that. But man, it's I think I saw Jerry get a little bit ticked off and was like, "What else do you want me to do?" Like, now they're talking about putting up a curtain. Like, it's just, for Dallas Cowboys fans, I know it hasn't been the easiest season, but to bring up, when guys don't make plays. And one thing that sucks about it is this also plays into what the NFL. We have to wear a certain visor tint because they say it could be used as a advantage. You have to get approved. You have to go through a doctor. They have to check your eyes and such, and you have to talk to a therapist. But you can only get approved after a certain amount. They don't want the dark tint. But I definitely think the dark tint would have helped him out in that situation.
I miss the dark tint. Remember LT, LaDainian Tomlinson used to look running away from people with that dark tint. I do think they have a curtain, though.
They do have a curtain.
They have a curtain at that stadium they use for concerts and stuff, but they leave it open for the Cowboy games. I think that's true. So, even worse. CD's losing money dropping touchdown passes because the damn sun's in his face. Come on, Jerry. What are we doing there? All right, I'm going to go to the Tampa Bay and 49ers game where there was an incident.
I have the same TFL for this one. This is the last TFL.
There was an incident, okay?
Yeah.
And I guess we could just do this together then. Deebo Samuel shoved, I believe, the kicker in the face, or he shoved the long snapper.
The long snapper, and then it made its way to the kicker.
Exactly. So, obviously, Deebo's a little frustrated. I think Jake Moody had missed a few kicks, ended up hitting the game winner, so everything was all good that ends well. But, man, that's just not good. Not a good look. What do you have to say about that as a player? I've never really seen anything like that where a guy went after somebody like that before.
Well, I've pushed Kuntz plenty of times. Just know
that's probably deserved, yeah.
Yes, very true. No, I'm just kidding. I think when you look at this, it's pretty wild. There was a time Mike T kept me and TJ at home. It was during COVID. And we were going up to Cleveland to play. And I remember watching the game, and I saw two of my teammates from the D-line fighting in the game, and they showed it on national TV. And I was like, oh, my God. Like, we could not look more, dysfunctional in that moment. You're just like, you guys couldn't just wait till we got the locker room to handle this? Mm-hmm. Man, that's not a good look at all. In front of everybody, you try to keep things in-house as much as possible, but luckily he made that last field goal because you don't know what he would have done after.
You're right, too. Just is that one of those things where it's almost more annoying because that's what all the talk is going to be after the game for everybody's going to answer that question. So that's what's so annoying about it. Yeah. All right. Go for it. Your next one.
I don't have any more TFLs. You can go ahead and keep hating.
All right. I got two of them.
Oh, wait. I do have one.
Go for it.
I just found one. This was kind of funny. There has been a lot of talk about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and that he is difficult to work with. And he can be late a couple times. But I found it so funny that people were getting mad because he pees in bottles. He pees in Boss bottles. And I was like, guys, we can't just provide a porta potty. We're going to spend all this money on Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but we can't just put a porta potty near, where we're filming. He has to use these Voss bottles and just set them all over the place. And there's just someone like, oh, there's a lemonade right there, and picks it up. And now he's looked at as someone who, is just being a jerk. But I don't think he was trying to go out of his way. And then I just saw there was a rumor about it, and then he had to come out and say, yeah, I do all that. And so he had to admit to peeing in bottles.
Well, if he does it, he does it. My thing, that's a him thing. He enjoys peeing in a Voss bottle. Okay, can we just he don't want a porta potty? They've offered a porta potty. He has turned that down. There is no way that dude is willingly. It reminds me of that fourth down we did with the Pee Bandit. The dude who was leaving water bottles full of pee in that nice neighborhood.
It was The Rock. It was The Rock.
It could be The Rock, dude. It could be. Well, I didn't realize you were going to go urine there. I'm going to go to an interim coach who clogged the toilet before his first win on Sunday. Did you see that? Did you see that? No. Coach Rizzi. I don't know. I don't know if I got his full name there, but he's the interim coach for the Saints, and he comes out to his press conference. He's like, well, let me tell you how my day started. I clogged the bathroom in the coach's office The first thing she was like, it's going to be a crappy day. I'm like, how many coaches have really clogged up a toilet before a big win before? How many times have you done that?
No, I've never clogged up a toilet. For
Wait,
a big,
wait.
I've clogged a toilet
You've
before.
clogged a
Calm
toilet or
down.
two. Okay.
My son, you want to hear a funny story? And I probably shouldn't be
God.
telling this. There was, so there was like this week, and I go to my son's room, and he's gonna hate when he's older and he hears about the story.
You sure you want to do it? You can stop now. You can stop right now.
I'm going for it.
right,
He's like, Dad, I clogged the toilet, and I'm like, well, he didn't want it. He was like, I don't know what's going on, and so like, I'm like, I go over there, it is full. Like, I don't even know if I'm gonna stick a plunger in it. It's like coming out the sides. And so I spent like maybe hour and a half trying to unclog this thing. Nothing is working. And like I felt like I was about to throw up. Like, it was disgusting. So the next day I go to Walmart. I'm buying like different plungers, saying like this is gonna help. And nothing works. I spent like another 45 minutes. And so my wife was like, why don't you just call, a plumber to come fix it? And I'm like, all right.
Yes.
So he comes. I kid you not. I'm doing the podcast this time, and all I hear is shh, shh, trying to get it. Can't get it done. He cannot get anything. He's in a full sweat, and he's like, I don't know what's going on. He has to take the toilet off. There is a pudding cup at the bottom of the toilet, and it's blocking everything from going down. When I tell you I was so ticked off in that moment because I had thought about that whole hour and a half I had of just, it splashed on my face. I thought I was about to throw up. Like, it was a rough situation.
It's refreshing to hear even professional athletes try to do their own stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I love that you tried that. Terrible idea. Don't ever do that again. Call the plumber. You've done well for yourself. You can call the plumber next time. I mean, a pudding cup too?
A pudding cup. A pudding cup.
I guess it could have been worse in theory, right?
And he was like, oh, I was just trying to throw it out. I was like, bro, don't eat in your room.
Yeah, no, I think that's immediate rule. No more pudding cups before bed.
Yeah.
One more for me, my last one. UJ football player Jake Pope, after their loss on Saturday to Ole Miss, he was leaving the field that the Ole Miss fans were rushing. Well, he saw some old high school friends and was jumping up and down, celebrating with them on the field after his team had just lost. Video surfaced the next day. Kirby Smart called it idiotic and was not very happy with you, which begs the question, have you ever seen anything like that before, ever, at any level?
No, that is...
Teammates would be pissed about that too, right?
Oh, you might get jumped, you do that. Like, that's... Like, Debo should have done that to that dude. Like, because you gotta... there's a level of respect for the game. There's a level of, what everybody puts in. When you just take that awake and say, hey, I want to be with my friends and let's jump around, let's have a good time. Ooh, that's nails on a chalkboard. Nobody wants to see all that.
Yeah, it was a bad look. But you're saying if after, let's say you had lost to Michigan and I was rushing the field, you wouldn't embrace me and jump around all happy for
you
me?
might get punched in your neck. I ain't playing that. Like, if I just played this whole game and you come over and you start jumping, that is not cool, bro.
The video's bad, man. The video's bad. He sees him as jumping up and down with him. Like, that's a terrible look. With Kirby Smart as your coach too, of all coaches, that dude is gonna kill you.
I don't think any coach would be okay with that. Fire the coach if he is okay with that.
That's true. That's fair.
All right. Well, that is our episode. Guys, I know it was a chunky one, but we had a lot to talk about. We had LaMarr Woodley. I want to say thank you again for having him. And let's get started on this AFC North football. It's going to be a fun one. Looking forward to it. And that is our episode of Not Just Football. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.